I'll do a dual lane. I'll do a dual lane challenge with what's a decent tower? Ballistas and flamethrowers, ballistas and frost keeps. It really, to be honest, it was more so just not getting any source of bleed. You know what? I haven't actually used flamethrowers at all, so I'll try ballistas and flamethrowers on a double defense. Hmm. Mana Siphon is like it's kind of a cost-effective way to. I should fill these in a little bit more. Mine, Enchanted Bolts, 5% slow. We'll take that. And I'm looking for the Frost Keeps. So the fire, I think. So the fire does armor damage, so I'm gonna get shields on my ballistas, I guess. Makes sense. Yep, poison. I definitely, whenever I see any kind of damage type like a burn or bleed, I'm gonna get that 100% of the time. Let's go most health on that. Mortar, lifesteal, sorcery, I guess. I don't care for that. Yeah, I don't. I'm actually just gonna get university this early, I guess, because I don't really think I don't value that. So this is most health. We'll hit you with a most armor, give you a little bit of armor. Do this most health. All right, guys. That was actually pretty close. I do love getting banditry, but I almost feel like maybe I shouldn't get it because of just how because it uses up cards. We're gonna get Broadhead. That helps us more right now. And we haven't got Mana Bolts, which actually makes so that's let's go most health, most armor, good health damage. Until we get Mana Bolts and a good reliable source of mana, having ballistas only is a little bit dangerous. We also haven't got our fire thing either. So we'll go ahead and grab longbows. There we go. Let's make this guy most armor. +1 shields, short. Put you on fastest. Ooh, we lost a couple lives there. Heavy shafts, I guess. We'll see if we can wrap this lane around. Although actually, I lost off of this lane. Huh. Most health. Yeah, we have good timing now. Like all of these guys got to fire on both lanes type of thing. They were firing up here. So I'm going to drag this lane out a little bit more again. Did we still not, have I just missed? Maybe I don't know what the icon looks like for the fire tower, or we just haven't gotten it. This is most armor, right? Yeah, we'll give you a little bit. Go for a least health here. This is just designed to try and kill the, oh, you know, I could put this on least health after most armor. Yeah, maybe I don't need a second tower for that. It's just trying to kill the battering rams. Because they have a lot of armor, but they have very little health. So if you don't actually kill them with your anti-armor thing, they'll just keep going because nothing will target them. Okay, I guess I just have to get this. This is a bit of a, we're getting kind of weird stuff here. Now, do I invest more into these houses? I don't think I am. I would in a normal game, but I just because I'm going ballistas and fire towers as my only two towers, I just think I have to put my ballistas in better positions on average. Of course, whether or not I actually will ever be able to get the fire tower remains to be seen. So yeah, you can see these ones, see how they have super high armor. You can actually use a little bit more armor damage there. Well, there's only two of them, right? But you can see like this guy stopped attacking it. And we want to kill those off and get them split. So we can give you a little bit of armor damage as well. Because they spawn these guys. And if that happens really close to your base, because you can see up top, it's hard to see, there's like a haste bar. Right after they spawn, they get a big movement speed boost, and then they end up slowing down. Sure. Flaming bolts. Do we go? I think I can go one more this way. This is a really nice pathway here. If this is a single lane, this would just be Pog. Like this big area of raised stuff with a big U. How's this side doing? I haven't really been looking at it much. Let's go. So this is my most armor, and then we're gonna go least health. We're gonna give you a little bit of extra armor damage. So you can see as they spawn, they go fast and then they slow down. There's a bunch of things like that in this game that sort of they die and then they spawn something that moves really fast. I think this side needs a little bit of help earlier on. I want to get my flame towers though, as like I want to put most of my ballistas just in this back area as single target damage, and then use my flame towers earlier on for my AoE damage. There we go, flame tower, beautiful. So where am I gonna put you? Here, I'm gonna put one. I guess I gotta worry about my mana. Here we definitely put one. So the way I'm positioning them is I want them to shoot down the lane in a straight line when they're targeting on progress. I feel like that is by far the best way to use them. So the shield multiplier is definitely a bit weak. We're on level 13. We're definitely going to have to look at one a shot 90. So that's like 1.5 a second. So I should be fine. I'm still going to build one mana siphon. I find when you're on the exact amount of mana you need, um, it doesn't quite work out. Like you end up losing a little bit of mana, so you want to be like one above your mana usage. Just the way like it ticks. So I do like that we have poison, and then we have our flamethrowers. So we have the 50% poison for our shields. So then, yeah, bleed is definitely our next big problem, is trying to get bleed on our ballistas, is what I will hope for. And then I think this is going to be my next flamethrower position, and then this one's going to be health focused flamethrower. I'm not going to build it for a while, I don't think. My next little bit of money, I think, is going to be spent on some most shield ballistas. It's actually gonna. This is gonna be most health for now, because I think Oogie's gonna spawn down there. Gain 50% burn. All towers gain 5% crit. Ah, yes, that's because I chose the. Yeah, we're gonna take the burn. And Oogie spawns down here, right? No, he spawned up here. Okay, don't love that. Most health. Most health. I thought he spawned in the longest lane. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. So you're gonna go to most shield eventually. I'm gonna remind me to sell that because I actually want to put a flame tower there eventually. This is most shield, and we're gonna give it a little bit of shield damage there. Most health, most armor, most health. I'm gonna go to fastest on this one. Demolish. All right, what do we get? +1 range. Yeah, we'll take that. The +1 damage to shield is tempting, but I think I'm gonna go for the range. Armor is the only thing that's really interesting there. Mana bolts. Except I don't know that I actually have. How many crystals do I have? Eh, alright. We'll risk it. Ooh, there's the bleed. Okay, that's nice. We've got a source of burn, bleed. We want to get mana banks next. We'll build up these siphons, and I think I'll be okay with these mana siphons. They are a more efficient source of mana as well, which is nice. That's going to add a lot of damage for us. Okay, you know what? We're okay with mana siphons for a little bit. We've got a good number of crystals. We're at 19 a second. I think that should be okay for us. We're going to pop this lane out a distance. We'll see how this goes. Ooh, you know what? I need an anti-shield thing here. Most shields. I think we'll be fine here. The first couple waves, you don't really get that many shields, and we do have the 50% poison, so I think we're going to be fine. Yeah, okay, I maybe even have more mana than I need. I definitely won't get the next level of mana bolts until we get mana banks, though. I'm not actually sure what I want research-wise now. Probably the mana banks. Maybe stuff to start building up my flame towers. Eventually, my flame towers are going to be a big source of my DPS. especially if we can get universities down early. But I think I'm gonna keep working on my ballistas just because I have all the damage types. Most armor will give you some more armor, or all the bleed types, sorry. I think I'm going to mostly look towards upgrading now instead of spamming. We're going to get a couple more, like I think we're going to get a Ballista here because that's just got some Poggers range, most health, that's most armor. Yeah, okay, we'll definitely get a most health one here. Yeah, and then I think, yeah, we're going to get a little bit more shield damage in front of our sprayers is another thing that we're going to work on. Yeah, this is the point in the game where you start to wish you had a fast forward button. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go for heavy shafts, not because I think that it's particularly good, but because that opens up a crit upgrade for me. I don't have enough gold. This is gonna be most shields as well. Try and get those shields off before we hit our flamethrower guy. Yeah, okay, we're getting those shields off. Top lane's doing pretty well overall. Okay, 10% crit chance. All towers getting 5, or my ballistas gain 10. I'm gonna go in on my ballistas for a little bit. It's tempting to get we'll get the research breakthrough eventually. I think most of my damage is the ballistas right now. Okay, I think a little bit of extra shield damage. And we got to watch that mana. It's definitely something where I think if everything was firing at the same time, I would run out of mana. And I've got to keep my eye out for universities, I guess, as well. I always miss them. Oh, okay, we've got a split down this lane. I didn't notice that. That's good that I just looked at that. So we're gonna give you a bit more armor and health damage. I might actually build another flamethrower a little bit farther back. It's nice to have multiple layers of defense in this game just because um, you get all these things that split and spawn other stuff, and they spawn and they move like faster when they spawn, and then you just have all the different damage types and armor types. So sometimes you'll get like guys who spawn things that have shields, and they'll spawn that like after your stuff. So we're going towards um, what level is my stuff? Like level 10. That gives me like basically a 10% crit, right? On a lot of stuff. We do lose the base damage, which I don't really care that much about. But I'm going to go Enchanted Bolts, because that's going to open up a crit upgrade for me. And I'm going to try and drag one of these lanes out to be longer than the other now. I'm just going to keep extending this to try and make this group a little bit less bunched up. And I think top should be mostly okay. Yeah. All right, I got my coffee. So we're getting a little bit of stuff coming through with shields, so I'm going to give a little bit extra shield damage here. I'm going to invest. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, these... I think we have some stuff that's maybe splitting, but anyways, I'm going to give myself a little bit more shield damage up here. That should help. Then I think we're going to need a little bit more backline defense here. What's the targeting like that? That's good. We've got most health, we've got most armor, we got least health. Let's go with the fastest and then just give it a little bit of everything. Bit of a jack of all trades. Can stack up a little bit of that burn, poison, and bleed for us. Even though we like, you get less. Ooh, 25% burn. That is nice. Um, ooh, mana bolts. No, we need the before we can go into mana bolts, we definitely need to get the mana banks. But I would really like to get that. Sorry, I had someone call me. All right, let's get back to this. What was I doing? Oh, I was dragging this out to try and spread these guys out a little bit more. I think we're definitely in a lot better position than we were last round, just because we have that bleed. Oh, I have universities, and I don't like. I was like, oh, I should look out for the university spot, but they can actually only spawn after level 26. So don't have to worry about that for a little while. I'm worried about my mana because of my upgrades. So as you upgrade these towers, they use more mana. So I'm just going to preemptively kind of drop down some more of these mana siphons because I don't want to get in a position where all of a sudden my mana is just dropping. Because that can really just, you can go from like doing fine to losing instantly because you run out of mana all of a sudden. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with the stuff that we've gotten. Would like to see the mana banks come up. And then I think we're going to start working on the crit on level and crit from universities because it just gives us a really effective way to scale our damage. My next project, I think, is going to be building another set of flamethrowers in the back line that focus on doing health damage only. I found late game that seems to be kind of what gets you is stuff ends up spawning from splitters. A little bit of backline shield defense is something that I'm interested in as well. Okay, so this quality over quantity is what we're going to invest in. Yeah. It's not great for these guys because they don't have much base damage, but even still, it's a DPS increase, I think. But it works reasonably well with our ballistas that have decent base damage. And I'm going to be pushing levels on stuff more so than building more. I'll be definitely building a little bit more, but not that much. Yeah, those have really nice range. Yeah, this little loop is really nice for us. Yeah, we've got good poison. We've got good shield damage, it looks like. These fast guys, I'm not super fussed about. I'm maybe going to build a little bit here and go fastest. I don't think I have too many that are on fastest back here. We'll do fastest. I want to leave that guy's most health. I want some on progress too. Okay, those guys are progress and fastest. Top lane is doing fine. I'm probably not going to ever expand top lane now, just because it's a single lane and I can guarantee this lane is going to be relatively weak. And then that lets me focus most of my defenses on this bottom lane, because this bottom lane will probably split right now. From what I can tell, you get an equal number of enemies from every opening. So right now we have 3 openings in total, so 2/3 of the enemies are going to come from this direction. But as I expand here, I expect to get more splits. And then eventually, kind of like 75% of the enemies are going to come down this one direction. And that makes it a lot easier to deal with. All towers do +1 damage to armor or the crit. I'm going to go for the crit. So how's our crit going? Okay, we're at ×2, 42%. I'm working on pushing levels on stuff now. So here, I'll show you guys. See, we get a ×3 crit, and eventually we'll get a eventually you get a ×4 crit as well as you get higher and higher crits. So essentially, like as you get more crit, the crit becomes even better because it increases your crit multi. It's like your basic quadratic crit damage type stuff. It doesn't look like it when you first start getting it because you just see the ×2, but you eventually get the ×3 and ×4. Um, so I'm basically going to try and get as much crit stuff as I can right now because it's just a huge DPS boost. I am still a little bit worried that we don't have mana banks. Okay, yeah, I guess mana banks are what I would get very first, and then after that I would get crit. Mana banks are my first focus, and then crit is my second focus. So we've got a boss coming up soon too, so I'm gonna have to be mindful of that. If he ends up spawning here, I'm gonna have to slow him down. What you can do with the boss is you can just spam a couple ballistas and put them on most health, and just like delay the boss so the rest of the wave comes through first. Flaming bolts, 25% burn. I do like that. banditry I also like. I'm gonna go with banditry because we got a lot of burn off of the flamethrowers, and I don't actually want to increase my bleed. If I had more bleed, I would be interested in that, but I'm actually mostly nice. We got a double split here. So this means more stuff's going to be spawning on this side, and this is going to let us spread this wave out more, because I can take this and I can drag this lane out. Yeah, so anyways, back to the bleed thing, is I don't actually want more increased bleed, because what I care about is the bleed staying on the enemy. If you have bleed on the enemy, they can't regen life, but if the bleed falls off, they can start regenning again. So you have to make sure that like you have enough bleed damage that you're not going to lose the status effect. And to me right now, I more care about keeping the status effect on. So you can see the way that we're splitting these lanes up, we are getting like a nice slow roll through here. And that's most important for my shield damage because I don't really have a source of shield damage that's AoE, or at least a good source. I'm really relying on these ballistas. Speaking of which, I'm going to pump a couple levels into this guy because I realize I've just kind of left him being... Oh, we do have, yeah, sorry, we do have two anti-shield guys over here. We'll give them a couple levels. So we're doing fine on this lane here. It would be lovely if we had a speed up button. I think I say that like 3 to 4 times every single run. Okay, so we got the boss coming up next is what we have to worry about. So I'm gonna make sure I have enough gold there. I'm gonna slap down the do I get the 3% research? No, I'm not gonna get that. We'll just get the all towers gets +1 damage to armor. I don't think we really need that if I'm to be honest. But let me get my mana siphons down, and then what I'm gonna do for the boss is I'm gonna slow him. Okay, so he's here. I'm gonna slow him probably up here. So I'm just gonna build a couple ballistas, probably 4, and then just go max health, most health, most health, most health, most health. Oh, it's already on most health. Most health. And so that's gonna slow this zombie oogie down. And then eventually I'm gonna do the same thing kind of probably up here. Most health, most health, most health. Probably another one. It looks like we probably need actually, do I only have, oh, I only have 5% slow. Okay. And you can essentially just sell these. You lose your upgrades, which we don't really care about. Demolish, demolish, demolish. And that's just gonna let us, because if you see him, he has the most shields. And that's actually a problem for these guys, because these guys are just not going to fire at anything other than him, but we need these guys to actually target the other stuff. I think we'll be fine. Oh, okay, I should actually pay a bit more attention to my backline. I think we're still okay. I'll slap another ballista on progress and give it a little bit of juice here. Stuff's actually getting a little bit farther than I thought it would. Okay. Demolish, 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 demolish. Okay. We got a reasonable amount of gold to work with. I'm gonna wait and see what upgrades we get before I spend it. In part because I'm also still concerned about my mana and the lack of mana banks that we have. We'll get our mana siphons down. Okay, mana banks. Yeah, we just have to take that, I think. Treasure. I honestly have no idea. I don't know if anyone knows how haunted houses work, so I'll get mines, I guess. Even though I won't use them. A 5% slow, we'll take that because I don't see the research center yet. Interesting. I'm gonna try and bring this up and see if we can get kind of a get it to come up into here. Because I would totally take a portal in here. Yeah, we'll get a portal up here. Nice. Okay, so I've got 4,000 gold. What was my problem? I don't know. I don't really remember what it was. So I'm gonna build a flamethrower for health, progress, health damage. Let's give this guy a little bit more in terms of levels as well. We seem to still be doing pretty okay on shields. I think that 50% poison on our ballistas really helps. How's this lane doing? This lane's still doing fine. And that's the thing about, like, I'm never going to expand this because I don't want to get a split here. That is actually, I think one of the biggest RNG factors in the game is trying to get, at least when you're playing 2 and 3 lane, is to get to have like a single main lane where you have most of the openings. And then let's go fastest, a couple of these on fastest, just for the slowing. Yeah, so you can see why I position these flamethrowers like this, is you get them so they're shooting like in this AoE down the line. It seems like it's kind of an inefficient place for a tower, but for the flamethrower and the poison spreader, I think this is the best, is to build them in a position where they are going to shoot straight down the lane when you set them to progress. Mana bolts or advanced ballistics, or the um, quantity over quality. These help all of our towers. This is going to force me to invest quite a lot in base in extra mana. So I'm going to go with advanced ballistics, the extra 10% crit. And you can see these guys are up to a 12% chance of the ×3. And then we'll soon get a ×4. We'll probably go ahead because this is a +5 slot. And I've got enough stuff that spawns down here that I'm happy with that. It's going to be able to shoot over here as well. So eventually it's not going to be able to hit anything over here, but there'll still be stuff passing through there. So we'll go most shields as well. So I think that that is my problem in late game. I think I'll be okay with health, and I think I'll be okay with armor from the flamethrowers. Okay, I gotta watch here. I keep investing like nothing in this lane, and that's not, like, I do have to invest something in the lane. Yeah, and this is going to be a health-based flamethrower. Actually, I don't know that I love this spot because it takes a long time. They're kind of slow to turn. Yeah, I think it's still better than putting it here for the extra damage. Okay. So how are we doing on shields? We're doing pretty well on shields. I think right now I'm a little bit over-invested in shields, but I'm kind of okay with that. I think we're going to go for a little bit more on fastest here. Fastest and a little bit of everything. This will give you a little bit extra health damage. Okay. I should keep my gold above 500 so I have money to buy a mana bank. but it's easy to spend a lot of gold when you're upgrading stuff. Okay, all towers gain +1 damage to health. I do like that, and I think I would take mana bolts if I had more money, but I don't think I have enough money to invest in the number of mana banks that I need. Ooh, okay, nice. So we got ourselves a university. We are, I'm just kind of wondering what I want to invest in. So these give a percentage chance to gain, you can gain like +1 damage for, so let's say I have 5% in health. There's a 5% chance I will gain +1 damage to health on all my towers, which is actually extremely good with these flame towers because they shoot super fast. And so the +1 damage ends up being pretty huge on them. So let me see how we're doing here. Let me check our other lane. Our other lane looks good. I think I just invested a reasonable amount of money in the other lane. I think we're doing pretty well on shields. I am tempted to get another flamethrower that's a little bit earlier on. Do I have a good raised position for one? Not really. I think we're still okay though. I'm gonna try and hold on to gold just in case I get the mana bolts thing. And that way we would be able to buy it. Or no, I'm probably gonna invest in universities. All towers gain +1 to shields. I don't think I want that. I think we go for the crit. Yeah, it gives, that's an insane, that's 27% crit chance, right? Yeah, you have to, I think that those are insanely strong. Think I should be getting those earlier than I do. And now I'm gonna try and spread this out a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna use that unless, no, okay. So if this was able to hit into here, I would consider it. But right now, this bottom lane, these guys are all pretty tightly bunched up from these three spawners. They're all really close together, so I'm going to try and spread these out a little bit more. Because a lot of our damage are in these ballistas that are single target. Um, how's top doing? Top's doing pretty well. I think I'm probably going to get a most health ballista in here as well. Or do I get it after? Maybe I get the most health ballista back a bit farther. I mean, I already have one, so maybe I just invest in the one that I have. Oh shit, I forgot about my universities. Okay, that's bad. So let's actually invest in. I don't actually know what I really want to invest in. Oops. So I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit. Medium amount. Yeah, we can't actually get that right. It would be insanely risky for me to get this right now. I do want it though. Um, sure. We'll probably regret that. Definitely gonna have to build mana siphons if I can, because they're more cost efficient. Or maybe we should build a mana bank and then we'll build mana siphons as I have gold come in. Okay, you know what? I don't I don't actually have that many ballista firing all at the same time, I don't think. I think I'll still be okay. I do actually have a lot of mana siphons down. 43 is actually a reasonably large amount. All right. That was a little bit dramatic. We're fine. We'll get another mana bank. Okay, let's go back to our universities here. Just a bunch of random stuff. I usually like to put them up to about 300-ish. Yeah, we're doing fine, I think. Yeah, about like 300 cost is where I usually push my universities to. Seems to be like a reasonable. I think magic I'm okay on, weirdly, even though I don't have anything that's like specifically good against magic. I mean, these guys are just doing work. Burn, 3 a second, maximum poison. I think I'm gonna get the maximum poison because I think I have, because I have 50% poison on my ballistas. And there just doesn't seem like much else to get. I think I could get the kill them with fire too, probably. And the 3 mana a second is just not worth it, I don't think. So we will use up this mana siphon. It's a more cost-effective source of mana for us. Top lane, we're still doing fine on shields, I think. Yep, looks like it. Almost feels like we need a little bit more anti-armor. Yeah, I gotta watch that top lane a little bit. Most armor, most health. Let's give you a little bit more damage. Fastest, progress fastest. Okay, I like that mix of targeting. Yeah, we'll leave those guys on a combination of fastest. They do super low damage now because they haven't been leveling up at all. Um, Interesting that armor seems to actually be a little bit of a problem for me. I'm not sure that that's true, but I'm actually going to get a most armor guy here. So we are pretty heavily invested in these ballistas relative to. I think I actually should have got more upgrades for that. But you actually don't. If you're trying to get all the crit upgrades, you actually don't have enough upgrades to upgrade like 2 towers to full. At best, you're going to do like 1 tower. Okay, yeah, we get the crit again. Are we up to X4? We're close to getting a ×4 crit. Oh yeah, we are on these guys. Yeah, now we're going hard into just leveling stuff up for that extra bit of crit. Ooh, we got ourselves another university slot. So you can see we're getting +1 armor damage. I'm gonna wait till the end of this round to spend my gold, I think. Just to see how we do. Interesting. I don't know why. I'm kind of surprised that armor is causing us so many problems, but it sort of is. Yeah, I think I need to start just upgrading these flamethrowers to get their crit up. All right, I'm definitely going to invest a little bit in my universities here. I think armor and health. I'll maybe regret that, but I feel like shields we're weirdly doing pretty well on. I maybe need a little bit of backline shield defense because I think there's stuff that gets spawned. I think starting at like 36, where the stuff spawned ends up having shields. Poisoning enemy also slows them by 5% of the poison. That's pretty good, but I think we're pretty good on slow. My other want, I think I'm gonna get the range. Yeah, I think that'll help a reasonable amount. Now we're gonna invest in some universities down here. A little bit of health, a little bit of armor. They do take a little bit of time to pay off, but they are super worth it on our... Do I get another university? Nah, I probably just upgrade this one a little bit. 240, 180. One more armor. Okay, so you can see I have +1 armor damage. Once I expand... Okay, we didn't get anything. It's a pretty low percentage chance. But even like +3, +4, it really adds up with these poison towers that do super fast attack speed. So, is my game audio broken? Properties. Yeah, I think my desktop audio is broken. Settings, properties. Okay. Whoops. I guess I should have OBS open. Alrighty. Well then. Bum, bum, bum. I do like the music in the game overall. Did I get... Oh, I got it. I'm getting a lot of university slots. I'm hoping I get the plus... You can get a research upgrade thing that gives you like +3% to all your universities. So if you have a shit ton of them, it really adds up quickly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to build some defenses a little bit earlier eventually to try and get stuff. I gotta figure out what splits into the shield units and try and get that stuff killed before it reaches this little area. Also slows. We'll probably get this, I guess. Because I don't think the extra burn is really that useful to me. I don't have enough stuff to tick it down. So we'll get that extra poison. We'll get some extra universities down here. Armor, health, that kind of seems to be a little bit of our problem. I'm going to get a bit of shield as well here. University. Call that good. Still only +1 armor. There is a reasonable amount of RNG factor in investing in that, and I maybe shouldn't invest so much into it, considering I have not gotten like any upgrades in the past couple levels. So I'm probably going to stop investing in universities now, just because I am a little bit concerned. After 35, there's going to be a little bit of a power spike. It seems like after the bosses, I think you get new enemies, and they end up normally being a little bit harder. No, that doesn't work. Trying to find a place I can put a flamethrower. No, that doesn't work either. That's before this little area. And I just want a long, straight area that it can shoot down. I should check this other lane. I've actually died before because of that, as I just stopped paying attention to my other side lane. We'll invest a little bit there in damage. Okay, I'm gonna turn the music down a touch and turn the SFX up a little bit. Resume. We could do something here. I think that that's long enough. Yeah, that's long enough. It won't end up, it'll keep shooting straight. And do a health focused one here. We'll think about that. To some degree, I'm probably just going to hold my money a little bit. I'm going to build one mana bank until I figure out like what actually is causing me problems. So there's no point like building stuff that's like not actually killing you. I do love banditry too. It's a lot of extra gold you get from banditry. Poison enemies take an extra 1 shield damage from all attacks. I don't think I need that. Maximum poison, I don't think I need that either. The extra bleed damage, I also don't think I really want that much. So I'm gonna get the money. And where's Oogie gonna spawn? So he's way down there. We're gonna do the same thing in terms of like 2, 3. Stick these guys on most health. Most health. Most health. And then where's another good place to do that? And we'll do most health here too. That should be good for slowing him down, I think. We'll see. We can always build another one up here. Okay, see, yep. Shit. Most armor, we'll give you a little bit of that. I'm gonna give you a bit of health damage here. And let's build a mana bank, because I see that ticking down. Progress, let's give you a little bit of damage. Most health, let's give you some damage. Okay. How's this doing? Okay, we can demolish these ones now that he's in range of the other ones. That should be good enough to slow him down. And we'll hope we get a good number of treasure chests out of this, would be ideal. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Still not doing great off of our universities. We do have open spot for another one. How's this guy doing? Okay, he is slowed down enough that we can just sell these. I don't care for them anymore. The bosses end up becoming kind of easy, it feels like, later on in the game. You're 24. Yeah, I think I want to invest mostly actually in my flamethrowers now. I would love us to get more plus damage, and I'd feel more confident about going hard into my flamethrowers. Alright, I slowed him down a little bit too much. 300, that's good. 300, 300. 220, 180. We'll invest a little bit more here. 220, invest a little bit more there. We'll drop another one down. Ooh, is that? Okay, yeah. They have to be at the same level with all the towers. Alright, and then this guy's gonna die super quick. So we'll see what we get off of him. I think you get between like 1 and 5 chests, it feels like, when they die. And I think we're gonna maybe start having some problems with this round after it, because I think the monster composition switches as well. I should maybe get a most health in that area as well. +3 bonus to all research. I do really like that. I think that's probably what we're gonna get, because that affects all of my. Because it ends up being like 1, 2, 3. It's 9% off every university. So it's an insane amount of extra research. I guess bleed them dry. What else are we gonna get here? Monster studies. That's the only thing that really makes sense. I do want to get, I think, a most HP guy here. All right, let's send it. Let's see how we do. I'm gonna hold a little bit of gold. We can watch here. Let's hope that we RNG. We got a little bit of extra armor damage. Not terrible, not ideal, but now that we have that research upgrade that gives us 3% per university, we are hopefully going to start really stacking up the research. Okay, let's watch this lane too. I got to be mindful of this lane. I might push this one out one, and I might move this one down a little bit as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to move this one down a little bit now just to try and spread this out a little bit more. And so we're doing okay, but I think this could really use some levels. Health and armor damage there. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. If we can get some more universities and some more plus damage, I'd really like that for my flamethrowers. I think we're in a reasonable spot. I'm trying to find the unit. So I think, is it these guys that split and spawn a bunch of things with, okay. There's a lot of stuff that splits. And you gotta try and focus. So does that guy split? No, he doesn't. This guy can definitely use some more armor damage. Ooh. Interesting. I'm surprised that armor is actually causing me as many problems as it is. Maximum burn, that would help with our armor. And I think I'm doing enough damage that we can get that. On the other hand, we're gonna get banditry. Because more gold. Do I want to invest a little bit in these? What are they at? 240. A little bit. 240. Okay, 220. We'll put a little bit in. Achievement unlocked, PhD. I think that's from amount of stuff I researched. So we gained, I think, another one into armor damage. And I'm going to get another mana bank just because I haven't got one in a while. And our mana usage is always just going to be going up from stuff leveling up. So even if you don't build anything, as your towers level up, naturally you'll still start using more mana. Like this guy uses 8 a shot, and I think it starts out at like 2 or something like that. Top is looking decent. Did we get another university? No, we didn't. Alright, I think we're doing okay. I'm just trying to figure out what we're weak against. Feels like we're doing pretty okay. I almost wish this guy was in front more. I don't love the positioning of this. Uh, 5% crit on everything. Yeah, we take that every day of the week. I am going to pump these guys all up to 300, I think. And let's see what we get. We're at 3 armor, and we're up to 5 armor, 1 health. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of plus armor damage that we've gotten out of our universities. No plus shields, so that's potentially something I want to think about getting some more shield damage. How's top doing? Doing decent. I think I just gonna invest a little bit in this guy. Yeah, see, these are the things that I was talking about that split and have a bunch of shields. I'm weirdly gonna get just a little bit of shield damage on this guy to help with those. Yeah, maybe I should have got more shield damage in my universities. Did I get another university spot? I didn't. But next time I get a university spot, I think that's what I'll work on. I think I'm still okay, because I just have enough of this backline stuff. But yeah, those ones that split and then have shields definitely cause me a little bit of problems. Ooh, yeah, that's not ideal. Not ideal. So what are the ones? It's these guys. What do they start as? I'm gonna have to look at them. I think it's these ones that split? No. Okay. I gotta figure out what spawns. I think I know what they look like. I gotta figure out what kind of health they have. And see if I can target. If I can kill them earlier, I'm fine. I gotta figure out how I do that. %2 bonus to all research. I think we're just gonna have to take that. Flamethrowers gaining +1 damage to shields actually kind of nice. But the 2% bonus to all research hopefully will give us a better return anyways. Okay, so we're gonna have a portal here. Just wondering if I want to move this one out a little bit, and I don't think that I do. This is actually, oh no, it's not gonna be a portal. Oh, that's a portal and that's a portal, I guess. Okay, now, what are those guys? Is it these guys that spawn them? There's actually like a bestiary in the game I could look at. I don't think I can look at it though from the menu. So no, I think it's these eye things. So they have a little bit of shield and then a shit ton of HP. So I think what we do with that is I fucking have no idea, to be honest. I'm not sure how we're going to target those. And I don't, yeah, I think it's just better for me to invest in this than it is for me to do anything else with my money. We'll give it a little bit of extra shield damage to help deal with that stuff as it comes through. Yeah, we're definitely getting to the point in the game where AoE is king. I just need to focus on my flamethrowers. I really should watch this top lane too, because that can definitely kill me if I don't stay on top of it. Shit. Yeah, okay, I need to make sure that they're at least dying as they come in through here. This is a nice little back line here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to invest more in health on this guy to make sure that, like, as long as they die here, if they split back here, I think I might have some problems. But as long as this guy kills them, I think I'll still be okay. I was hoping he could kill them and kill the spawns, but maybe that's a little bit optimistic. We'll see what we get for our university stuff. We do have quite a lot of university I think I have enough poison that we can get this. Gonna just expand that out that way, I guess. That helps me a little bit in spreading stuff out. 4 health. Okay, we got a little bit of extra health damage. I like that. I'm gonna give this guy, I think, a little bit of health damage to try and make sure that these guys get killed. I think these guys are reasonably good at cleaning this up because we've got a lot of plus shield damage from like I think we have +1 to poisoned things, and all towers do an extra +1 shield damage and stuff like that. So these ballistas are actually reasonably good against shields. And we've got the dual mana bank thing. I think health, I want to get my health damage up. We got a reasonable amount of health researched last term, so that definitely helps. And we're up to, so we're almost up to that 50% crit, which is just really helpful. It is a little bit scary, you know? A little bit scary watching that all this stuff run down. Because just like, if even one group of that gets through because I have banditry, I'll lose. I should maybe get some mines down. I don't like to build mines because I feel like it's like, I don't know. I just like to go all in on DPS, but if I get like $1,000 in mines, it's not really that much gold in the grand scheme of things, and that lets me deal with potentially having one little group come through. The other thing I have to worry about is my mana. That's the other thing that can kill me. Ooh, shit. So some of these guys are still getting through. These are the ones that I really want these guys to be dead. Yeah, we're up to the 4 times crit here. I think I kind of want to invest more in this guy. I'm a little worried about this top lane here. Now that this guy is maxed out on crit, I'm feeling reasonably comfortable about this. I would love... Oh, this guy's actually pretty... That guy's actually pretty high crit as well. Attacks against bleeding enemies have a 5% crit chance. All towers gain an extra 5%. I'm going to get this. I don't think that I can actually get higher... I mean, we can get more crit on all these guys, and that's going to be helpful. But I think like I'm crit capped on this guy. So I'm going to work on getting this guy crit capped. This guy crit capped. I don't think I'm going to invest much more in this one. I don't think I'm going to... Yeah, I have like 5 levels left. We'll see how much gold we get and how many universities. So we're at 4, 6. Let's go for an expand. We got 5, 7. That's not bad. We got 1 and 1. If we get that every round, I'm happy with that. We'll take it. We're going to drop down another mana bank out of an abundance of caution. Let's see, let me just watch. I actually really like the positioning of this because it gets to hit in an entire circle and then it has a straight lane to fire down. You get the best AoE when it's just shooting straight down a lane, and that's why I have it positioned here, but it also can start firing beforehand, which is nice. It's a little bit slow to turn, I'll say. Oh, was that guy firing? Interesting. I think I saw him fire over there. They're a little bit slow to turn, which can kind of screw you up a little bit, but overall I think that positioning up here works really well. Yeah, we're definitely flirting with having mana issues. So I'm gonna grab one more mana bank. And another. I'm a little worried as this guy starts to fire that we'll have mana issues. The top lane has stopped firing now, so I'm pretty much not gonna have mana issues. Okay, let's continue to watch. Okay, this guy I'm gonna invest in as well. I don't love that those guys are getting through. Like, I feel like this guy should be killing them. All of these little things. Yeah, his health damage is kind of low. I think I should have invested more in health damage on this guy. How's this guy? He's got a good mix. No armor. I don't think we need armor in the back line. I think you need the shield for those guys, and then the health damage are the only two things we need there. That's a little scary looking, but I think we're fine. We are still getting some of the spawners getting through, which I don't love. I don't love that. I wish they would all die. I could go for like a more most health Ballista. Would maybe help there in terms of getting those killed. We do have one. Nah, I think at this point in the game you just only want to invest in the flame towers. Because how much faster they shoot and the fact that they shoot in an AoE, is it just like, I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever to invest in the ballistas anymore. Especially with the flat plus damage that we have. Increased crit chance. I don't know if that works, because I think that we're crit capped, but we're gonna go ahead and grab that. We could get this bleed, burn, and poison, but I don't actually think that it's really that useful for us. So we'll go ahead and get the crit. Is that right? Yeah, we'll do that. Even though our bleed is really only being applied by our ballistas. Okay, no university slot, and I don't know, I don't think we got any, we didn't get any upgrades, I don't think, from our universities there. Which kind of sucks, but whatever. I'm tempted. Where do I want to build that, though? Okay, let me keep my eye on top there. How's that doing? Is this guy crit capped yet? No. We're investing a little bit there. I think I'm going to invest in this on health only, pretty much, on this guy. What do those spawners have? The spawners have the littlest bit of shield. So I need a bit of shield damage, but mostly health, I think. So a little bit of shield and mostly health is what we're going for. Try and deal with those spawners, because I think that that's going to be our biggest issue. So actually, let's give this guy just a little bit of shield damage to help with that as well. This guy does have some shields. Yeah, he's got a bit. I don't love that this guy has to do a 360. He's maybe a little bit slow for that. Alright. Bleeding enemies take extra 1 health damage from all attacks. We don't actually have that much of a way to apply bleed other than our bolts, but we'll just take that. I think that that's better than anything else that we have. Oh no, shit, white phosphorus. Yeah, we'll take that for sure. And what are we on? We're on 42. We'll expand down there. Ooh, holy shit. I think we just got... Did we just get... We definitely just got 2 shield damage, which is nice. And I think we got 1 armor. That's actually super big. Because it seems like 2 shield damage isn't that much, but that's like... This guy's on 13 shield damage, right? And because he attacks so fast, and then you have the fact that it multiplies by your base damage, it really is a lot of extra damage. And I want to keep my eye on top. I think that last research round is like, it doesn't seem like it, but that actually gave us an insane power boost. Like you can see top, they're not even making it around the corner. It does feel like the flame tower and the poison tower are really, or are more so, I don't want to say reliant on the research, but they do scale crazy heavily compared to like the mortars, where you have a much slower attack. Okay, that's a little concerning. That is moderately concerning there, okay. We're gonna have to think about that. So maybe I am going to invest in this guy a little bit. Could also just invest in my ballistas. We'll wait till the round's over and see what research upgrade we get. Throw down a mana bank just in case I forget about it. Yeah, we get a lot of gold with banditry. +1 damage to shields on all my flamethrowers. Yup, we'll take that. And then what do I want to do about this? So I think we just want to give this guy a bit of juice. Build a mana bank or 2. Go fastest. Give it a little bit of health and shield damage. Then I think I'll just hold a little bit of money there. Expand. Wait, where do I... Oh, that's right, I have an expansion up here. I was gonna say, I need 1 more expand. What did we get? So I think we got +1 shield damage off that last research. Did we? Maybe we already had +3, I'm not sure. So let's watch top. We want to keep that in view because we were having problems with that last time. Yeah, it looks like we're doing a lot better top there. Okay. Top looks fine. I like that. My mana looks fine. We haven't had any of the spawners leak past. I don't think any of them leak past last level. I'm curious as to why some of them are not damaged. Seems a little bit odd. Alrighty, I think we probably got a win here. Shouldn't say that until the game's over, but it doesn't ever feel like 45 is substantively more difficult than 44. And you just get an insane amount of money with banditry. All this stuff that spawns. But I don't love the looks of that. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't understand how sometimes they get maybe this doesn't actually do hard AoE. That was actually moderately close. To be fair, I was sitting on like 15k gold. Yeah, maybe these flame towers don't actually do hard AoE. I thought they did, but I could be wrong. Because that's kind of what it feels like, is when there's a huge bunch of them, some of them go through, are able to get through. Enemy we kill, we get mana. Poison enemies take an extra 1 shield damage. I don't think we don't poison stuff reliably enough because the ballistas, so we're gonna get the white phosphorus. And then we are going to slap down a mana bank, and we will go ahead and I'm going to upgrade this guy because I'm going to be a little bit busy, I think. Once the round actually starts. There we go. Got a little bit of ×4 crit there. I think once the round starts, I'm actually going to be a little bit busy building ballistas for Oogie. Okay, so there's that guy. So same thing I did last round. I'm just going to stick a couple of these on most health. Most health, just to keep that guy slowed down, most health. And then we'll do the same thing, kind of say up, where's he coming from? Sure, we'll do it up here. Most health. And that's just going to keep the boss guy delayed, so I don't have to worry about fighting the boss at the same time as we're fighting everything else. So you can see he's already essentially behind everything else. I might actually just sell those in the interest of not making the game take forever. We'll slow him a little bit more. I gotta keep watching this. I actually should have watched that lane a little bit. Alright, let me sell these so they don't slow them down too much, otherwise it'll take forever for the game to actually end. I sort of wonder what the strategy is to win Ballista only. I did it. I made it to level 39, I think, on level Ballista only. I tried last night. Oh, let's get rid of you. Really don't want to slow that guy any more than he already is slowed. So that's the final boss there. So I just don't mind selling that because nothing else is going to come afterwards. Yeah. So if I had had him slowed, if I had had those towers up, he'd probably like still be here. But we'll have no problems killing him off. The bosses really are pretty easy overall. The first two can maybe be, depending on what you're doing, somewhat tricky. But eventually they just become so easy. Like I could just dump an insane amount into this guy. Armor multiplier, max crit. And then my most health, just dump an insane amount into this guy, get him up to 4x crit. The stuff they spawn is like what you kind of have to be worried about. Depending on how... It weirdly comes down to if you have really long range towers and you have your priorities always on most health and most armor and stuff like that, they'll almost always target the boss. That is actually the one thing that can trip you up is the targeting with really long range towers. Okay, so that was my first time beating the dual lane. I actually went straight from single lane to triple lane. So you can see the ballistas are pretty damn good for how much we invested and how much we got out of them. It always surprises me. So there we've beat double lane, we beat triple lane. And that also gave me the achievement, I think, for ballistas and fire only.